As always, 8:15 on Thursday night, you get to hear our guy Ryan Hester battle it out with Tommy Nicknames. Ryan, are you with us?
I'm here.
What's up, bud?
Not too much. Just kind of licking my wounds after what I would call a bad beat to Tommy last week. I think I picked 3 out of 4 players better, but I took the leap on Alfred Morris, which didn't seem like a leap at the time until Ezekiel Elliott was able to play, and then I took basically a donut, so I ended up losing. But that's okay. We got another week to go.
I feel like
you sound upset. You sound a little upset.
I feel like it's my responsibility to tell you this, Ryan. I watched the games with Tom this weekend, and he was bragging a lot, talking a lot of trash. And I was talking to him today, and I said, "Are you ready for tonight's call?" Because that's what we do. I just make sure that he's prepared. And he goes, "I think I'm going to let him pick all of his players first. I think I'll pick all 4 of my players second, and just let him take whatever squad he wants because all I do is win."
Oh man, I don't know. Did I say that?
All I do is win.
That's what he said. So I was like, "Well, yeah." And then he goes, "And if that's not, I'll take my tight end first."
Because I'm mad at you for what you did to me last week.
Well, and also, speaking of why I'm a little bit tilted from last week, is Vernon Davis had like 48 catches in the first half and then got hurt.
I know.
And ended the game. I mean, he did nothing in the second half. The guy was on pace for like 100 yards and like 10 catches. I mean, it was crazy.
He was. I was watching that.
I mean, my process was good, and that's all we can do in this funny little game that we play.
That's right. Listen, let's be real here. It's been whoever's gotten the quarterback right generally is winning because we're washing out on the other 3 positions generally.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
All right, so it's 4-4. Points are 419.6 in my favor to 410.2 for yourself. So we're still very close overall.
I can very easily be ahead of you after this week.
We'll see. So you were in Houston, right? Everything go well in Houston? You weren't visiting Deshaun, were you?
No, I wish. I wish I could have passed along my bet. But no, I was not.
I hear you.
So.
All right, well, I'm not going to let you pick your 4 players first. I'm going to go first because I won honors.
I didn't think you would really do that.
No, I know. Steve's just trying to cause trouble. Don't let him.
Are you saying you didn't say it?
Don't let him start trouble.
Are you saying you didn't say it?
I might have mentioned it.
I might have mentioned it.
Tongue in cheek. I might have mentioned it. But it's all good fun.
All right, well, I'm going to win the right way.
All right, beautiful. All right, I'm starting off. Starting at running back. And I'm going back to the well for my boy James White because I love me some James White.
Okay. All right. I like it. I mean, New England faced a tough defense 2 weeks ago with good corners in the Chargers, and they threw a lot of passes to James White, but also to Rex Burkhead. So,
that's right.
You might kind of be sharing the load there, but White was a guy that I thought of as well.
All right, you got next 2.
Since we talked about getting quarterback right, I'm going to pick quarterback, even though it's a total coin flip it's like a 3-sided coin, but I'm still going to take a quarterback first.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Josh McCown of the Jets against Tampa. The Tampa secondary is brutal. I don't see them getting a lot better unless maybe Brent Grimes comes back, but even then, you can still pick on him. I'm going to take McCown, who's actually like a high to middle QB2, like on the season.
I think he's 11. I think he's like ranked 11th throughout the season right now. So,
yeah, it's crazy high for a guy that we didn't think would still be starting at this point.
Right.
Began.
Definitely. No, that's a good one. He was my number 1 quarterback on the page too. So,
all right, and then I will quickly pivot to running back, and this is just pure narrative street. I have no real thought behind it other than Seattle needs to get their running game going, so I'm taking Thomas Rawls in tonight's game.
Okay. Well, what's his name's out?
Bite me. I'm going with it.
Lacey's out.
Yeah,
so.
Lacey's out. That's
right.
I mean, that's the real reason. But Russell Wilson's been doing everything, but they may need to get the running game going eventually if they want to go deep. So maybe they try that tonight.
Okay. All right, so you went quarterback, running back. I got my back already, so I'll go wide out and then tight end to get them out of the way. I'm going to take Robert Woods at wide receiver.
Okay.
He has had, I think he's had at least 6 targets every week this year, and at least 5 catches the last 4 games. So it was just a matter of him getting the touchdowns is what would put him over the top with everything.
Yeah, and last week he did that in a big way.
Yep. And then at tight end, I had one written down originally, and he was going to be my play the whole time, but I'm actually going to switch it up, and I'm going to take Garrett Selleck from the Niners.
Yeah, that was mine. I had a feeling I should go with him, but that's okay.
The Giants.
I'm going to play.
What's the Giants have given?
Go ahead,
nine touchdowns in 9 games to tight ends. So play the formula, right?
Yeah, man. It's almost like you've been reading my trend spotting column where every week except last when they were like on the bye, I talked about the Giants against tight ends. So it's a real thing at this point.
Man. It is a real thing, right? Like you can follow trends as much as you want, but this is like one of those that you just got to deal with. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they have good corners, so teams don't like to throw to their wide receivers against them, so they use the tight ends.
Right.
And also, it should be noted for anyone listening that Garrett Selleck, despite the fact that he's a nobody and you might not recognize the name, but George Kittle's been ruled out for the week, so that's why Garrett Selleck is the play.
Correct.
Okay, so you have your Garrett Selleck, which is fine. I'll take my last 2 here? So I will take at wide receiver, I'm actually going to go with Mohamed Sanu in the hopeful shootout where Dallas visits Atlanta. Dallas really struggles against slot receiver types and wide receiver 2 types, and Mohamed Sanu is a wide receiver 2, and Julio is a little banged up. Still think he'll play and everything, but I like Sanu. He gets a good volume of targets there.
Okay.
Hopefully get a piece of a shootout.
Yep, definitely.
And then our boy, who's the poster child for this contest, Tevin Coleman, was also on my running back list. So I wanted a piece of Atlanta, so I'll take it with Sanu. And then at tight end, I'm going to go with David Njoku from Cleveland. Total shot in the dark here a little bit. Selleck was honestly my pick, but Njoku faces Detroit, who has given up some big games to tight ends this year. And coming out of a bye, it's a lost season. They may look to their rookie a little bit more.
Right. Okay. I like it. He's number one. He's probably the number 1 target right now, right? Other than maybe Duke Johnson.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. I mean, Corey Coleman will come back eventually, but he's not yet, from what I understand. So that's my thought there.
Okay. All right. So I got quarterback left. I'm going to go Eli. Okay. You got the Niners. Eli's had 2 touchdowns or more, 4 of the last 6 games. Only 2 he didn't was against Seattle and against Denver. So they can't run. I mean, they're starting to run the ball a little bit better, but it's between him and Andy Dalton for me, and I just don't trust Andy Dalton. So I'll take Eli. I'd rather go down with Eli than with Dalton.
It's hard to trust Eli too, but I feel you. But Dalton does have a good matchup as well. I'll say since we sometimes talk DFS here afterwards, there's so many cheap options this week, and the San Fran and New York game, the Giants and Niners is a really good game for that. 2 cheap quarterbacks, 2 teams that play really fast. 2 teams that suck at defense, 1 team that doesn't care anymore.
Right.
So a lot could happen there. I almost like CJ Beathard as a DraftKings play because he's just so crazy cheap. So,
really?
Garoppolo doesn't play this week. You don't think?
Garoppolo is not playing yet.
Well, obviously, if we know Garoppolo is starting, I don't like it. But you're gonna the thing with that kind of a call is that it's going to happen right beforehand. The only thing that where you get hosed is if Beathard gets benched mid-game. But I mean, if Garoppolo is ready, I feel like they'd go to him from the start. And if Beathard gets benched mid-game, he's likely done so poorly that your lineups are going to tank anyway. So
yeah, I mean, the one reason I was thinking Dalton is with AJ Green getting in that fight last week. It's got to be 2 touchdowns and 150 for AJ Green this week.
Yeah, there's and more. What I like more than narratives are good matchups that support narratives.
Right.
And so when you've got a receiver who's thirsty, you definitely would love to be facing Tennessee's defense with that receiver. So
correct.
That's a good call too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So DFS, I got a couple of the guys that we've kind of discussed them a little bit already, but we'll match them up with the price points as well, just to get an additional thought there. Okay. So
yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead.
What are we talking? FanDuel here?
It's always FanDuel.
Always FanDuel for us. Yeah.
I can't do DraftKings.
Like it.
All right. So we got Eli at 6,700 and we got Dalton at 7,100. Is it worth the 400 to save?
I think it is, only because I actually do trust Dalton a little more. I think that team is still genuinely trying, whereas Eli has a higher ceiling probably, but he has a much lower floor as well.
Okay. And we know the Giants have given up because they've basically just admitted that they've quit on the coach.
Exactly. But if it's a situation where you're like between, a running back you don't feel good about and you want to buy up to another one, then by all means, go back down to Eli and feel good about the higher end dudes.
The higher end running back. Okay. All right, running back. Duke Johnson at 5,500 or Henry at 5,100?
Man, we're going low. Cleveland has who again? Detroit.
Cleveland's got Detroit, Tennessee. I mean, what's his name? DeMarco Murray's been a nightmare.
Yeah, he has been, but man, I don't know. I guess I'd go Duke Johnson there, but I would do my best to try to like get up to Mixon at 6,200, or even split the difference, or go up to Coleman. We talked about Coleman a minute ago,
right?
Or hell, even Marlon Mack at 5,500, I like a little bit better than Johnson and Crowell. He's getting more opportunities with Indy,
especially because Freeman's all banged up, right? So he's not getting the carries that he was for Atlanta.
Correct. And also, both Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden are 5,400, and Morris is supposed to start for Dallas. So
you're not playing that game again, are you? You learned your lesson last week. So he's going to be reinstated on Sunday morning.
I'm not picking him on a Thursday. At least if you're to roster him in a contest, you'll know what's going on by Sunday.
That's right.
Like our contest where we lock on Thursday.
I know. I should have been nice and thrown you a bone there and said you could pick another back, but I'm not being nice.
That's what we do.
Way.
That's the risk we take.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go one more.
Charity.
We'll go one more on wideout because we love Juju in this room for some reason.
Team Juju, man.
And I know you took Sanu. So Sanu's 5,900 and Juju's 6,500.
Yeah, I mean, if you need the 600, they probably have pretty similar outlooks. So I'd probably go with Sanu. But I'm looking at prices now. A real interesting question would be Robbie Anderson versus Juju. They're both the same price. So who would you like better there? That would be a tough one too.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
I would probably prefer Anderson just because we still don't know what's going on if the Steelers are going to throw Martavis Bryant a bone or not.
With Martavis Bryant,
so
right.
That's my only hesitation with Juju. But I do love some Team Juju.
All right. Beautiful. Let us know where we can check out your articles and everything. Throw your plug in.
Yeah, sure. Footballguys.com. And also I'm on Twitter at RyanHester13. And tomorrow morning, every Friday morning, our Power Grid show drops on YouTube. So follow me on Twitter or follow Football Guys on Twitter, and you can see that. And that part's free. And if you enjoy what you see there, then come subscribe to us.
All right. Beautiful. Ryan, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you. I'll be rooting against you guys. Sorry.
See you next week.
Hey, thanks very much.
No problem.
All right, you guys too. Have a good one.
See you.
All right.
Why'd you say this time?
Break yourself, fool!
Say what? Dude, why are you starting trouble?
What are you talking about?
Saying I told him he could pick all four guys.
Did you not say that?
You were walking around.
Did you not say that?
Off your chest out when you walked through
It's
here.
actually recorded at 3:18 p.m. probably today.
He probably has a tape somewhere.
You can't run around like that and tell him, hey, I'm the guy that's in charge. You literally were like, I'll take all four picks after he picks his.
That was more because I knew he was flying from Houston in case we got stuck. I would have just said to him, here, throw me your picks, and then I would have gone from there. I was being polite.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think it's more arrogance than anything, but
That's what I do.
I could be wrong.
I love it.
It's great.
Listen, you've got him in what? Overall points?
Overall points, and we're
By
tied.
9.
Right.
And you got our team at 8-0, right?
9-0.
Undefeated.
Yep.
Nice.
Winning all around. It's nice to know I'll be able to do the team again next year. You guys won't get rid of me.
No.
Nah.
I'll keep you around.
For other reasons, but
even
not
if you
that.
throw me off the show.
Let's call you back.
You'll be the guy that calls in. Yeah. Let's go to our weekly interview with Tommy Nicknames.
Tommy Nicknames.
It's Rob Fox's segment now.
All right.